Welcome back to another video, guys. This is the Fluffy Fish here, and today we're doing a rebuild video. And for this one, we are doing the Cincinnati Bengals rebuild, and we're starting in the current week of the season. This week, they are playing against the Arizona Cardinals, and that's exactly what we're doing. I won the game against the Dolphins because I think on Madden, the newest week you can start with is 16. So we have our exact win record in real life in the game, and we're going to see if we can rebuild this team starting in free agency, and I'll meet you guys there. Alrighty, so we are at the offseason. I want to take a look. So we ended up finishing 5-12, meaning we lost the rest of our games. So I'm curious where we stand. Looks like the Rams might have won the Super Bowl there. Let's take a look at our team and what we're working with, and we'll go from there. So obviously we have Joe Burrow at quarterback, Chase Brown at running back. Who cares about fullbacks? Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Yoshibash, Tinsley. I'd be curious to try to develop Tinsley a little bit more. Orlando Brown, Fairchild, Karras, Isner, Mims. Not loving the offensive line. I mean, it's quite obvious, I guess I'd say. Just not loving them by any means. Trey Hendrickson, injured in real life, need to put him up there. I think he's due for a contract, so we're going to have to look into that. Chris Jenkins, Shamar Stewart's a 74. Going to make sure he's starting as well. Joe Gillis Harris. We got Barrett Carter starting in real life. Had a pick recently here. Demetrius Knight Jr. as well. A couple rookie linebackers. DJ Turner having a huge year. Cam Taylor-Britt not looking as good, but yeah, we got some promise there. Geno Stone, not a big fan. Jordan Battle, not a big fan either. So let's go ahead and take a look at who we have to re-sign next week, and then we'll go into free agency. From there, we have 19 players ready. I just don't want to re-sign Trey Hendrickson, if I'm being honest. I don't think the Bengals are going to re-sign him. I want this to be semi-realistic, and quite frankly, he's just not worth the money. He's not. Hasn't been playing good even when he is there. Cam Taylor-Britt, he's still young, decent enough that for the right value, let's see. He wants to come back, so we'll bring him back. Dax Hill, underwhelming is what I'll say. I don't think he'll come back. Superstar for Geno Stone, I'm not sure why. He's not good. Noah Fant, Joseph Tsai, he's having a huge year in real life, so I'll bring him back for a couple years. Miles Murphy has not lived up to what we'd hope, but I'll still grab his 5th year. Mitchell Tinsley, I want to bring back. He's going to test out free agency, okay? No one else really here that I care to try to bring back onto the team. A couple guards. Joe Flacco, of course, we're not going to try to bring him back. No Fant, not really too worried about it. Dax Hill, and if he's going to take this, and sure, yeah, didn't think he'd want to take it anyways. And then if Geno Stone will take this, and sure, but he doesn't have much interest in being here. And he actually does resign, so we'll take it. We didn't really overpay for him or anything like that. Let's go into free agency. I think our focus needs to be an offensive line. That needs to be our focus in the draft, and that needs to be our focus here as well. Just building out a better offensive line for Joe Burrow and Chase Brown. And it starts with the guards. We're going to need guards. On the defensive side of things, our young linebackers are promising. We have decent enough, both superstar safeties. We do need some help on the edge, though. So let's take a look at free agents, what's available, and we'll go from there. Trey's the number one guy, has 11 teams interested in him. Just not worth a contract at 31. He is not worth the contract at 31. So let's take a look. I want to get guys that fit the scheme, and also guys that want to be here. He would start for us. He's only 28. Let's see what this puts us in line for him. So Broncos are paying him quite a bit. It's not a lot of money either. Realistically, it's really not. So I'm happy to overpay and try to bring him in here. Player friendly, where does that put us here? Gives us a chance at him. Guard, we have Kevin Zeitler. No offers. He's 36, but I'd be happy to bring him in for a 1-year deal. Hopefully he takes that. Any good centers? Who's our center? Ted McCarris. He's getting old. He is getting rather old here. But no real good replacements, honestly. Clowney, DJ Reader might be decent to bring in. Edge, it's really just Trey, but we got Floyd. He's older now. Bryce Hoff. We might let Miles Murphy get a run next year and just see how he does. There's not a ton of talent. Not a ton of talent available. But we do have some offensive linemen, so I'm not going to complain about that too much. We do have offensive linemen. This guy's going to want a pretty penny, but he's worth it for a year. Might switch it to 2 because he's going to be... we'll keep it at 1. Travis Kelce's coming back and playing. We'll bring him on as a weapon if we can get him for a good price here. Jacksonville is going to try to bring him in for a ton. I think we have the money, though, so we might as well try to get Travis Kelce a little bit. See if he wants to probably go to Jacksonville. Maybe he will. We don't really need anything there. Right tackle, no. Left guard. Not a ton of talent in this year's free agency. Straight up, not a lot of talent. Not a lot of guys I'm like, ooh, we have to have them. I'd like to bring in a better third cornerback, and Greg Newsome would be just that. See if he takes this. He has a decent enough will to be here, too. With some more money. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and go to next week and see what we're looking like here. Let's see if we got anyone brought in. Wow, did we not get really anyone that we tried for here? Zeitler, we're still on the hunt. Signed, we only brought in Tevin Jenkins, the left guard, the 28-year-old out of Oklahoma State, the former Brown. Of the targeted, Kevin Zeitler is still out there. But... which ones did we lose? We lost Greg Newsome to the Seahawks. Travis Kelce went to the Jags. He's from Cincinnati, man. Come on. Had the right guard or someone else that we were trying for as well. Just didn't go our way. We did bring in Kevin Zeitler. Okay. So we got a couple guards here, but we just weren't able to bring in anything else. So see if we have any cornerbacks left to potentially get. James Pierre, Meek Robertson. We'll bring in McMillan potentially here. Okay, well, let's get Alante because he has a lot of interest in being here. So let's give him an offer, and he should take that. And he did. So we did get a couple guards. We did get a cornerback as well. Edge, I think we're going to rock with Miles Murphy or see what we can do in the draft. And let's take a look at the lineup here. Let's go to the depth chart first, I think, and we have to reorder. But we got Joe Burrow still there. Tight end, wide receiver's fine. Tight end's fine. Leno Brown, we still have Mims on the other side. Tevin Jenkins here. We got Zeitler on right guard. Ted Karras still rocking center. Mims at right tackle. Hopefully we can try to get something better out of him, but it's not looking too good for the guy. Is what it is, right? Is what it is. Let's take a look at the mock draft, see where we're at. Okay, so we end up having the 9th overall pick. Has us taking a edge rusher. Titans end up with the first, and they're predicting they're going to take a quarterback, which would be strange. Commanders have the 2nd overall pick. Browns 3rd, Jets 4th, Raiders 5th, 6th, and Giants fall all the way to 7th. So they went out, which is an interesting one. As 5 and 12, we are the 9th overall pick. Okay. Let's go ahead and sim to the draft, where I'm going to see if we have any trade options here, and then if not, if we can't move up for any certain guys, then we'll hop into the draft and take who we want to take. Alrighty, so we weren't able to trade up to get another pick, but I think we're going to be able to get one of the guys that we want at the 9th overall pick. So let's go ahead and advance to that one. Okay, so Oscar Esperanza looks really good. I'm going to be curious to see how they rate him. I didn't really want Julian Love, so I'm okay with that not being available. Yeah, Oscar Esperanza looked really, really good. Just wasn't going to be like the Saints were asking for this pick, a pick next year, seconds, thirds. It was outrageous. So just wasn't going to be what we wanted. I've been bouncing back and forth between Raymond Gutierrez. He's kind of our prototypical Bengals guy. A power move, A awareness, B play rock. 23 years old, or on the left edge, I do like Gabe Parks. A awareness, A play rock, B power move, A finesse. And I've been going back and forth. But I am decided I'm going to go ahead and go for Gabe Parks. Who is a B, ranked at 28th in true value. We got him at 9, so potentially missed there. Let's go ahead and go to our next pick. It's hard, right? So we came in, they fired Zach Taylor and the GM, right? And it's us jumping in at the end of the season. So I didn't have any of my scouting set up. So I really don't know what I'm looking at here, which is a cop-out, yes. But at the same time, the truth, I don't know what I'm looking at. It's going to be somewhat difficult to really tell. D tackles are going to want play rack. And this guy seems decent enough. 11th in true value, Enrique Rivera. Big boy on the right. Holy. Set state record for bench press reps in high school. Effective at shedding blocks in the run game and high football IQ. Huge ad in the second round. And we got a good D tackle to replace BJ Hill as he's getting older. And so we are going to need to replace him. Let's see. I don't know what we should really focus on here. I was thinking maybe center, but there really isn't a whole ton of prospects. Let's get a center, see if he's any solid. Maybe we can get a hidden, potentially C player. He is hidden, however, decent enough strength, but he's a pass blocking guy, fits the scheme. Might be a good guy to sit behind Ted Karras for this year and try to develop into something going into next year. As we're into the 4th round now. We got some defensive linemen. Not sure if we have any fast guys, gadgety guys we can get here, if there's many left. 429, Brandon Wilcox. So he was a day 3 guy, apparently. Spectacular catch is an A. Route running is god-awful. Not much else on him beyond that. F catching. Yeah, that's an Eagles wide receiver right there. Let's see. Any cornerbacks that might be worth taking a look at here? Man coverage, B. Del Beecham. Slot guy. Let's see. Oh, pretty good. Number 39 in true value. Sure tackler. Not a burner, but decent speed. But slow to react to developing plays. So might get tricked on some of those. He is normal, but overall, I'm rather happy with the guy, and as a 4th round pick. See, I don't know. We don't have a 5th, I don't think. Okay, yeah, no. We do have a 6th, though. And at this point, anything that's just decent value is what we're hoping for. Alrighty, and we're going to end up picking Sterling Levine here in the 6th round. Really no clue what to expect. I don't have anyone scouted at this point. But number 130 in true value, so good enough. Decent speed, decent backup tight end. Normal development, though, so kind of sucks a little bit, but is what it is. I think we have another pick here in the 6th. Yep, right at the end of the 6th. Let's take a look, see if we can find another position of need, maybe a guard, since we got older guards now. Maybe a right guard that we can get. A awareness, A pass block, good enough for me. And number 54 in true value. Another solid guy, Corey Cannon, maintains balance and wins often in pass block. And he's hidden as well, so potentially a solid 21-year-old out of Oklahoma. Not sure if we have a 7th. We have a couple of 7ths. So we have a few more shots we're going to be able to take, which is always fun. Thanks to the old coaching staff here. Didn't seem to be any running backs worth really taking a chance on, but we do have AJ Carrington here with decent ball carrier vision. But decent speed as well. So let's take a shot on AJ Carrington. Number 112 in true value. Normal but decent speed. Going to be a decent backup if we need one. Maybe kick returns. And the final pick is in. Not really sure where we should go with this one. Was thinking maybe a safety of some sort, maybe a free safety if there was one, but doesn't seem like there's anyone real potential there. Cornerback, not sure if there was anyone with potential here at this point either. C are the best stats. Not really sure what we're looking at on these either. Not enough to really... Ooh, hit power. That's nice. B, play rec, B, D, B. Hit power is low, but still some potential there. Let's go ahead and get Rodney Gregory, at least a hitter. Will be a good special teams guy running down the field and popping people nonetheless. Yeah, he's not very good, but he'll be special teams, 87 speed, and a absolute thumper. So that's going to do it for the draft. Let's go ahead and take a look at the draft recap. See how we did. I'm curious to see how that defensive tackle that went to the Saints is. Our guys here, we got a couple of decent ones. Gabe Parks was underwhelming, 75 overall, but bounced back in the second round with Enrique Rivera, who's 77. 70, Andy Sanders, center. The cornerback was 74 overall, 73 overall, right guard in the sixth as well. So some good talent. Curious though, let's go ahead and take a look at the overall draft. Who was the top guy? Christian Dotson, the running back, was a generational talent. 87 overall to the New York Giants. We didn't have him scouted, knew nothing about him. He's 87 overall, elusive back, hidden. Wow. Already one of the top running backs in the league, just right off the bat there. Jake Watkins, the right tackle, who went second overall, was 80 overall. Dimitri Little was 80 overall. Tight end, who went 19th, was 80 overall. Julian Young was good. Couple cornerbacks that went after Enrique. Okay, so Enrique was actually just as good as Oscar Esperanza was. And it looks like we got the best edge rusher that we could have at our pick, as Roman Gutierrez is only 74. Reynolds is even less. So interesting. All right, well, overall, very happy with the draft. Let's go ahead and take a look at the team after we advance 1 week here. And then I'll sim through the season. I'll focus on the scouting, but I'll meet you guys towards the playoffs, see how we're doing. And we'll see. But first, let's take a look at the lineup. I'll auto reorder the depth chart here, and then let's hop on in. Okay. So backup 70 there. Yeah, Ted Karras, and then we have Cannon behind Zeitler. So it's looking promising for the future there. And then on the defensive side, we did get Parks, and then it moved Shamar Stewart over to the other side. So we got a young duo there. And then Rivera actually bumps Jenkins down, and BJ Hill still has a spot. I think we're going to swap that. And then Beecham is going to be a solid, dime package kind of guy for the team as well, while we have there. So overall, the team's looking better. I'd say it's looking better than it was last year, but let's see if it actually ends up performing better. I'm going to go through training camp. I'm going to go ahead and do some scouting, and then I'll meet you guys at the mid-season point. Alrighty, guys. So at the halfway point, we already have the same amount of wins as we did last year. We are 5-2, and yeah, overall, just doing good. Standing wise, we are at the top of AFC North. Did everything that we needed to do. Scouting's looking good. So I will meet you guys at the playoffs, and we'll see if we've had a quick turnaround or where we're at. We went from 5-12 to a quick coaching change, good draft class, solid free agency, and now we are 13-4 and in the playoffs. We are the number 1 seed, as you see the NFL playoffs for 2026 right here, and it's looking good. Let's go ahead and sim to the divisional round and see who we are facing. Obviously, we're not playing this week. We got the number 1 seed, and we do have the division rival, the Baltimore Ravens, who went 9-8, who we are up against in this first game. So we had 3 teams in the division making the playoffs here. All passing yards, no rushing yards. Let's see how that does in December football, or January football, actually. See, can we make it to the AFC Championship round? First year, we cannot. We lose to the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs, and we're going to have to run it back. I'm going to go ahead and get us to the offseason to see if we won any awards or anything like that, and then we will move on to free agency. Quick jump in. No offensive player of the year, no offensive rookie of the year or defensive rookie of the year for us, but Joe Burrow did win MVP like he always does in Madden Simulation, and Jamar Chase had offensive player of the year. So really good season for the offense, passing wise, solid turnaround for the defense as they were at least average, right? And that helped turn the Bengals around. We had a 13-4 season. Now we just need to, fine tune a few things, make it so that we're a little better run wise, and maybe we can win some games in the playoffs. Okay, so I went to re-sign people, and it looks like Jordan Battle is a superstar X Factor. So we're going to go ahead and re-sign him. And it looks like he said, never mind. No, you're not. I'm going to go ahead and franchise tag him because X Factor, young, had re-sign interest. Not sure what that's about. We're going to go ahead and make sure that we get DJ Turner as well. So we got Jordan Battle. We got DJ Turner back on the team. Marius Mims does not have much interest in being here. And I don't think I'm going to pick up his 5th-year option because I think we'll be able to get him for cheaper. I do think that we will. Chase Brown, not too interested in bringing him back, but he is pretty cheap. So I will do it. Still have $50 million in cap space. Orlando Brown's been poor, and I want to see if we can get something better in free agency. Ragnow, who cares, is a punter. Okay, that's going to do it. We're not going to pick up a Marius Mims 5th-year option. Doesn't mean he's not going to get re-signed. Just hasn't shown enough, and he doesn't have interest in being here anyways. So let's go to next week, check out free agency. And also I need to take a look and see, okay, what do we need as well? Let me fix this up. Okay, so we still have TT's back to being a superstar. Jamar still 99. Joe Burrow is in his 90s as well. Lost a left tackle, so we need a left tackle. Cannon's the 79 is going to end up being the starter there. Ted retired, so we got the center filling in for him as well. Might need a tight end, better running back. Eric Carter's improving while Demetrius Knight Jr. is superstar. Battle is X Factor. Didn't get an upgrade for Rivera, but overall the defense is looking really solid. Really solid. Not too worried about cornerbacks either with how Beacham's improved. And then punter we can get in the draft. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we have here. And Jalen Carter is in free agency. Let me go ahead and take a look at our options, and I'll get back to you guys at who we're going to try to get in the first week of free agency. Alrighty, so this is who we're going to go after in the free agency. I don't think we need a lot here. And so this might put us in cap hell. I'm curious if Jalen Carter even goes for it, but we got Jalen Carter. There's no good left tackle, so Orlando Brown hopefully, and then Dawson Knox just to shore up the tight end room a little bit. Hopefully. Okay, so we did not get Jalen Carter. He ended up going to the Chargers. So we still have a decent amount of cap room most likely, but we did get Orlando Brown, Dawson Knox. There's no one else really in here that we're going to go after. We don't really need them. And so we'll save the money for when we need to sign people potentially in this upcoming year. And let's head on over to the draft. I'll try to see if there's some trades, if we try to move up for players that we really want. But I'll meet you guys there. Okay, we had to give away an absolute haul, but we moved up in the draft for a player that we needed to get. So trade up with the Jets. Let's start this draft and get going. One of the biggest things we still need is tackles, right? Left tackle, right tackle, Marius Mims, Orlando Brown are not cutting it. We have that interior offensive line's getting better, but the tackles are not there. So hopefully this guy's still there at our pick. Number 8. And he is. Wide receiver number 1 to the Seahawks is wild. A lot of defensive tackles taken, but Drew Bailey, I believe, is really good. Oh, it's not worth it. Please be. Oh, and he's normal. Oh. Rough draft for us. 76 overall, Drew Bailey. Normal. 21-year-old, though. Agile, fits the scheme. Looks rather good. Just normal sucks, and that trade at what we did to move up and get him also sucks. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we could have gotten instead and cry about it. Okay, it looks like, there wasn't a lot of good players in this draft that we could have gotten. Obviously, these tight ends, the running backs, whatnot, cornerback, but we didn't really need any of those. This guard would have been nice, Batista, but we went for the tackle that we needed, and we got the best tackle in the draft. So feel bad about it, but ultimately just not as good of a draft as it was last year. And so I think going into this season, we're in a pretty good spot. I don't think we got worse by any means. We didn't get worse. We still have the key components of our team. And if anything, we might have gotten a little bit better. So I'm going to do training camp here with some of the young guys. And we're going to attempt to not only make the playoffs, we went 13-4 last year, but get a playoff win and keep moving forward and try to get a Super Bowl win as the Cincinnati Bengals. All right, guys, so it is the 2027 season, and I just want to highlight this real quick. Joe Burrow leading the lead by 500 yards in passing and 6 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. T. Higgins, second in the NFL with 650 yards and 9 touchdowns. Insane that we have the 2 leading receivers and then a quarterback that is leading by that much as well. It's just absolutely wild. The combo that we are 4-3, right behind Baltimore in the AFC North. And I just went through and re-signed a few different people. No one's super noteworthy, other than some of the younger 70 overall guys. Marius Mims still on the edge of resigning him or not. Leaning towards no right now. But yeah, let's go ahead and sim to the playoffs and go from there. Alrighty, we finished the season 9-8, and we're in the wild card against the Baltimore Ravens. Last season, obviously in the playoffs, we got the first round bye and lost to Baltimore Ravens. Let's see what we're able to do this time. Another wild card matchup. And we lost again to the Ravens in the playoffs, finishing 9-8. I'll see you guys at the beginning of the offseason. I'll let you know about the awards if there's anything noteworthy. But as you can see here, defense all last. Offense passing yards first, rushing yards last, defense last. Setback for the defense overall. And curious why, I'm not quite sure, but we'll try to adjust it in the offseason. Alrighty, so in the offseason now, Joe Burrow, another MVP. Jamar Chase, another Offensive Player of the Year. But just not good enough, right? Just not good enough. Unable to win in the playoffs, and that's really what it's coming down to. Let's try to cook something up this offseason, and I'll keep you tuned in onto some of the moves. But let's try to see if we can run it back and get a little bit luckier this time. Alrighty, and we're at the end of the draft, and we did end up drafting an edge rusher. Felt like it was the best value play. Probably should have went for a guy that we maybe didn't need the position, but still best talent. Ended up going Maxwell Thompson. Normal development kind of hurts. Running back in the 3rd round though, 71 overall, normal development. Would have showed you guys if they were any good, but honestly, pretty bad all around. We did have a really solid free agency, so I am going to advance here and go ahead and show you guys our team rolling into the 2028 season, as we do have Joe Burrow there. Let me actually auto reorder this, and we can check out the team here. So it's looking really good, really promising here, honestly. Christian McCaffrey at running back, Joe Burrow still at quarterback with the X factors out wide. Solid left tackle here. Cannon's going to be our starting right guard. Still a decent enough offensive line. Joe Alt didn't get re-signed by the Chargers. He was an 89 overall, but he wanted to go to the Rams. He really had his mind made up. It didn't matter if you paid him double what the Rams were going to pay him. He didn't. Legit didn't matter. So kept kind of what we had for the most part. Defense looks really solid as well. Jordan Battle down to a superstar, but superstars all around, really. Yeah, cornerbacks could potentially be a little bit better, but they're still good. We're missing kind of the X factor stud, but our Parks guy on the edge is now superstar. Shamar Stewart hasn't really developed much, but we do have Thompson that we could potentially replace Shamar Stewart with, and I'm considering doing that because he's just not developing like he needs to for the team. And let's see what we can do. We have superstars, we just need to develop them. Offense is going to kill it like always. It just comes down to, can the defense stop them, and can we win in the playoffs? Hopefully Christian McCaffrey helps with running the ball potentially as well. I'll see you guys at the midway point. Not a ton to write home about, but we are 3-4. Baltimore Ravens are 7-0. Our team overall is better, but it just doesn't matter. There's something off, something missing. Our rushing yards isn't dead last, but it's still awful. Our defense isn't dead last, but it's still awful. Might switch up playbooks or something along those lines, but yeah, it's outrageous at this point. Just not able to perform like we should be for our overall. So I make some changes, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the playoffs, hopefully. Alrighty, and we missed the playoffs here, so not sure what to say. We have some big re-signings to do. We'll run it back one more season, see if we can do anything. But with how it's been going overall wise, we're building up a good team. It's just not able to do anything on defense. It's just kind of how it goes for the Bengals. I'm not sure why. We'll do one more season, see if we can get a playoff win, and then call it after that. Alrighty, so we did sim to the next season playoffs and 2029 playoffs, as you see at the top of the screen, and we actually made it. Halfway point, we were 4-3. I made some big trades to get us to this point, and we are the number 1 seed once again. Let's see if we're going to be able to. Well, first of all, we get a bye, so let's go to next week. But let's see if we're going to be able to get a playoff win. And we're going to hop in and we're going to watch the sim as we play up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So let's go ahead and jump right into the game. Alrighty, now it is time to sim. Dalton Blankenship, by the way, insane generational kicker that we got in the draft. Other than that, there's not much else to show you from that draft. So it looks like we're going to win this one. 23-0 versus the 8-10 Jacksonville Jaguars, who made it to the divisional round, by the way. So kind of wild stuff there, but They lose 23-0, and we got our first playoff win 4 seasons in for the Bengals, and we're on to the AFC Championship. Let's see who it's going to end up being up against. In the 11-6 Miami Dolphins, let's hop right back into this one. No time to waste. This is the final season. No matter what happens here, whether we win a Super Bowl or not, this is the final season. We built out a team full of studs. We're getting to the point where Joe Burrow is about to retire. We're not going to keep playing this forever. Jamar Chase is coming up on retirement here in the next couple of years as well. Let's see what we can do against the Miami Dolphins. $14-10, $21-10, $24-10, $24-13, $24-19, and that is going to do it. The Miami Dolphins come back and beat us 27-24, and that's going to do it for this series, or for this episode of the Bengals rebuild. If you guys would like to see us try to do rebuilds more, if there's something about the rebuilds you'd like to see more of that I didn't show a whole lot of, comment down below. If you guys did enjoy it, like the video. Unfortunately, we failed this time. We did get one playoff win, but failed to win a Super Bowl for the Cincinnati Bengals and turn their seasons around. Really, we ended up having just bad defense every single time, and is what it is. Again, like the video, subscribe, comment down below if there's anything you'd like to see more of, and until next time, peace.